to the victor, the spoils. That is the hard reality of any contest. Magnanimity becomes the victor, however. Donning the mantle of magnanimity is part of the spoils. Narendra Modi wore it with the same finesse he demonstrates in other matters of attire, when he delivered his victory speech to an adoring crowd of party workers and a competitively unctuous horde of television anchors. It was the eve of Holi, a festival that lends itself to easy homilies on the victory of good over evil. Apart from such a bleak demonization, he did not deign to notice the vanquished opposition. Modi's political messaging and deployment of rhetoric are striking. The voters of 5 states that went to the polls have blessed the BJP, said the PM and, before him, party president Amit Shah, repeatedly. This is a rhetorical device that serves to obfuscate the reality that the BJP won actually only 2 states, although of the 2, one is the biggest prize among states in the country. Punjab favored the Congress. The Congress emerged the largest party in both Goa and Manipur but is unlikely to be able to form a government in either state. But that is a minor quibble. The biggest state of the country, UP, has spoken decisively and chosen the BJP. The Congress helped the BJP, by giving its secular stamp of approval to the Samajwadi Party, and persuaded at least some Muslim voters to stay with the party, rather than move towards the BSP, the natural focus of anti-incumbent wrath among the people of UP. And family quarrels within the SP's Yadav clan dented its support. Notwithstanding all this, there is no gainsaying the BJP's intelligence is mopping up the support of non-Yadav backward castes, both by nominating members of these castes put off by the SP's Yadav bias and ignored by the BSP, and forging alliances with some parties based on these castes. Polarization on religious lines these days is far more subtle and insidious than in the past. Tales of harried Hindus fleeing Muslim-dominated regions and valiant BJP leaders promising to stem this exodus are only part of the exercise. Just the sense that any party is wooing the Muslims as a group is enough to produce a counter-consolidation of Hindus against that party, these days. Since the BSP and the SP were openly wooing the Muslims as Muslims, the BJP gained from such counter-consolidation, creating a political sensibility that effectively forestalls the minority being politically wooed as a minority is the BJP's biggest achievement. But this was not all. With demonetization, Narendra Modi declared himself to be the champion of the poor, channeling the anger of the poor and the marginalized against the illicit rich. He gave the poor gas connections and vastly expanded the already extensive network of no-frills accounts for the poor rolled out by the predecessor UPA government. Who cares if the conceptualization of such accounts and nationwide electronic banking, linked to a biometrics-linked unique identity and running on mobile phones, had been crafted by the previous UPA government? That is for historians and sore losers. In politics, what counts is the branding and visible political commitment Jan Dhan accounts acquired under Modi, to add to his narrative on fighting poverty. In his victory speech, Modi used the rhetorical device of attacking poverty to draw attention to yet another facet of his magnanimity in victory. The only social divisions he spoke of were those of class. He spoke of the poor and of the middle class. During his campaign, he spoke of punishing tax evaders and the illicit rich and, thereby, benefiting the poor. He tapped simmering class anger against those who grow very rich very fast, not through any visible sign of creative genius but through cronyism, corruption and milking the public exchequer. Combined with his repeated assertion that he and the elected chief ministers are leaders of the people at large, regardless of whom they voted for, the PM projected inclusion and tolerance. Specific reference only to class-based divisions is silence over religion-based divisions. While such divisions figured aplenty in the poll campaign, it is welcome these are being talked down and not talked up, in victory. But this does not, of course, mean that Narendra Modi has squeezed out all scope for exclusivist politics from the BJP's platform. Modi announced a new goal, Build a new India, preferably by 2022, when independent India would turn 75. National glory is to be the new clarion call. Modi said he works hard for it. If anyone missed the point, he said we have a prime minister today whom people ask why he works so hard. He then explained why he works so hard, because there is no greater pleasure than to work for the people of this country. He called upon every Indian, in whatever walk of life he finds himself or herself, to join him in building a glorious new India. The pursuit of national glory is not as straightforward an exercise of collective uplift and achievement as it might seem when it rolls off the mouth of a towering leader. That positive connotation derives from the focus on glory. But it is the nation bit that contains the most scope for contention. What is this nation that has to go forward? Does BJP's failure to nominate a single Muslim to a single constituency out of UP's total of 403 mean anything for the kind of nation whose glory the PM seeks? Does the flaying of Dalits merely for asserting their citizenship and humanity have anything to do with it? Does the revision of Rajasthan's history textbooks to say Rana Pratap defeated Akbar in the Battle of Holi have any bearing on the kind of glory that will be pursued? How does such revisionism go with the PM's categorical assertion that he would not do anything that is not authentic? The nation is as unambiguous as the observation that the dog is a friendly animal. There is the cuddly golden retriever, but don't forget the pit bull and the mastiff. India is a nation of many parts. It has many regions and languages, many faiths, traditional divisions into castes organized into an oppressive and theologically ordained hierarchy, ethnic groups and tribes, political constituencies whose affiliation to the nation was contested at the time of independence and has been since. Every single element of this composite totality is a potential site of schism, if not allowed to find its natural articulation into an evolving, democratic national whole. For the castes, that means breaking up the hierarchy, effectively annihilating caste itself. For religious, regional, linguistic, tribal and other ethnic communities, it means the freedom to be who they are while melding into an emerging pan-Indian life and culture, influenced by and, in turn, influencing the world outside.